Hey, what's happening guys? I'm ika.himee and welcome back to my channel, the channel where I insist on filming speed paints and talking over them and I never have anything to say. um, yeah, okay, so there's not really anything specific behind this drawing. I was actually working on a print for a convention coming up, and I had on a couple of Doodle Date live streams. And if you don't know who Doodle Date are, which is hard to believe, I think everyone pretty much knows who they are. They're like a super cute and wholesome art channel, and it's like this couple and they doodle stuff and they come up with fun prompts, and it's just like they're super fun to watch, and I just enjoy their positive energy, and it's just a super fun time. So I highly recommend you guys check out Doodle Date if you don't know who they are. But I was watching one of their live streams and they're drawing pooches, and I decided that I wanted to draw a cute doggo as well because I don't ever draw dogs, and I don't think my style is it's very good for drawing animals like this. You know, I could probably draw like a regular real dog and, you know, it'd be fine, but I don't really have a very cartoony style, which is something that kind of bothers me a little bit because sometimes I would like to draw cute animals that are like people, and I can't really portray them that way, and it just kind of makes me sad a little bit. So a lot of this, I thought it was going to be a lot easier than it ended up being, and I wanted it to be less anime when I did it. But every time I tried to draw the eyes, they looked so bad. So bad. They just looked like creepy and empty, and I couldn't do that to this little pooch. So I had to go back to like a anime-ish style for it so that it would be cute again and not just bad. But the color palette was pretty simplistic. I did kind of want to limit the colors while still making it cute, so it's very much so like strawberry kind of blonde-ish palette here. So we have like our little like pinks and like our like pale peachy tan colors and browns. So yeah, it's like a very limited color palette, but I think that sometimes those yield the best results. I'm using my Mostery sketchbook. It's a mixed media sketchbook. I bought it about a year and a half ago, I guess. I think that I did a review on it, I think, when I got it. I'm not sure. Like, I wasn't paid or sponsored to do anything with the Mostery sketchbook. I just kind of wanted to, like, try it out for myself. Because they have, like, two different kinds. They had mixed media and they have watercolor. And while I do a lot of watercolor and most of what is in the sketchbook is watercolor, I actually didn't have any mixed media sketchbooks, and since mixed media can handle some watercolor, I figured that I would get that so that I would have more options, and you also get more paper if you get a mixed media sketchbook. So that was what I opted to do for that. So this is actually my first time using Copics in this sketchbook, since most of what I've done so far in it has been water-based mediums and acrylic paint, as you can see to the left there. That's an acrylic painting. But yeah, so this is my first time using Copics in it, and I knew that they like kind of bled through on the back of the page because like the way that the sketchbook is designed is that both sides are usable. One side is better for watercolor than the other one, obviously, but both of them they handle it okay. It's fine. So it's actually my first time using the Copics, and I really wanted to test it out, and I was planning on doing something with acrylic paint on the back of the paper since it seemed to be really good for that, so I just wanted to test that out, and I was really hoping that it wouldn't bleed through to the next page, and so that's why you kept seeing me flip back and forth and checking it, and luckily it didn't actually bleed through to the next page. Granted, I was going pretty lighter than normal for Copic stuff for me. I usually like to layer on shading and stuff like that. So I suppose if I did like a normal illustration or something, it would probably bleed through the next page. But since it's a sketchbook, it's not really a huge concern for me. Like, I'm not really into like stressing about keeping a sketchbook neat and pretty. This is honestly like probably my neatest and prettiest sketchbook that I have, and that's only because it was one, very expensive, and two, has nice paper. So I try to do more actual like illustrations or color doodles and stuff like that in this sketchbook than I would normally do. Normally I'm a pencil sketcher if I'm gonna sketch in a sketchbook. That's just how I've always been. I just like to doodle things. I don't really draw things like for practice or shading or coloring or anything like that unless it's like an actual illustration. But this sketchbook has really like motivated me and pushed me to doing more rendered artwork, which is nice, but also is preventing me from completing this quickly. Like, I have a huge stack of paper still to get through in the sketchbook, and I want to do a full tour of the sketchbook when it's full, because it's going to be my most visually interesting sketchbook, so I kind of want to keep it all. I want to save it for like the big tour at the end. So I'm just kind of waiting to fill that out, and it's probably going to be a while before I can do that because of other obligations and motivation and stuff like that. But this is like kind of a mixed media illustration here. So I have Copics, I have watercolor, and I have Prismacolor clay pencil. I was actually going to use my my cheap, not so cheap Chinese Faber-Castell color pencils because they do pretty well for outlining stuff, but I think they're actually downstairs and not with me, so I couldn't use those. But the Faber-Castell, the Prismacolor pencils work just fine. It's not like a super interesting background. I just kind of was trying to fill up the space, and I was using Dr. P.H. Martin's concentrated watercolor for the background. But overall, I think it came out super cute. I really like her. I don't know that I'll ever draw her again because I don't really have a use for her, but she's really cute. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!